Since your dad never told you how to get a 1984 Mazda B2000 that's been sitting for 29 years to run, I'm your daddy. So the story is, and according to the title, this truck was bought in 1990 from the guy I just got it for. So this truck was only 6 years old, a fairly new rig, and they used it on the family farm, putting around, and it was taken off the street in 1993. And I don't know when it was taken out of service on the farm. But that's when it was last inspected. Said it was running when parked. Therefore, why would you park it? That's what we're going to try and figure out. When we take a look at this truck, she has had a fender bender, but that is a-okay. She's rocking these premium white wheels that have this red going around the side. Those are very nice. Got the LPS's all-season tires. She's got the meats. B2000, I guess they made a 2200 as well. Got these bad to the bone tow rig mirrors for heavy hauling because this beast is a workhorse. Really liking the sporty look here. I believe, as you can see, with the blacked out trim and such and accents, that's because she is an SE5, which I'm guessing is Sport Edition 5. Look at these. Has these tie downs for when you get a heavy load in the back here. Even came with some Mazda hubcaps, which I'm kind of disappointed because for some reason they don't fit on these wheels. That thing's actually pretty solid bumper there, folks. Going pretty good on the rust. I mean, not too bad. There's a little bit going on there, but there's that old Missouri Show Me State plate. And there's that nice hubcap I like. I think that gives her a nice look. Look at that. Sure, this here bed liner is hiding all this rust in this bed, which we might be taking that out and checking out what's inside there. Maybe it preserved it, don't know. Let's hop in the interior, take a look in here. Look at that. She's got the beige interior, and I have not quite figured out why mice like just pissing all over their home. It smells like crap in here, and they're just taking dumps everywhere. As you can see, she's a manual. Not for sure what this is. This looks like some Cop Detector 3000. That's just because this thing was a speed demon. Taking a look at the cluster here. She's got 157,239 miles on her. So she's broken in nicely. Hell yeah. 252 picks came with the rig. Might need one of those for after supper tonight. Oh, well, we just lost 7 of them. Now that's enough inside this rig. Let's get out of this before I get some type of disease or something. As you guys want to see, let's get under the hood of the bad rig. Oh. Now under here, we have all the power. This right here is going to be an inline 4. Now if you look up the horsepower of this thing, it says 1700 cc. So that's just a little bigger than your four-wheeler. I've never seen one of these engines and I don't know crap about them, but we're about to find out a little bit about them. The first thing I noticed, look at that cap and rotor. That thing is completely horizontal. Have you ever seen anything like that? I haven't, but if you follow these plug wires, holy crap, could you imagine that? The mice ate them up. Why do they eat wires? So we're gonna have to do something with that. We definitely have buyer's regret after seeing this because she has been chewed up. Might as well start right here, but hey, look at that. Free bungee cord came with the rig. Can't beat that. How in the world did they get that on there? Pop that off. All right, we know this can't be good. So, get out of here. Now, where is the dipstick on this rig? See how dry she is? Well, it doesn't look completely dry, but doesn't look completely wet. Looks like the dipstick's down in here. There she is. Would you take a look at that? It's hard to see on that dipstick, but she does have oil. That's a plus. Stick that back in there. And let's take a look over here because this looks like an absolute mess. Holy crap, folks. You think we're gonna have a wire issue? Because I think so. Those are all ate up right down at the plug there. Now this is a carbureted rig, so maybe we can get away without any of those wires, because honestly, we don't need headlights, tail lights, blinkers, dome lights to run this rig. All right, we need power to our coil, we need spark, and we need fuel, and we need air. And she'll run. So let's start digging in here, see what we can do. Now usually we put a socket down on the crankshaft there and try and turn this thing over, but the guy I got it from, he said the motor's free, so we're just gonna trust him because people are real honest in today's world. We should do that, and we're feeling lazy, so we're gonna skip that part. That being said, to start here, since we're definitely gonna have to replace these plug wires, we're gonna pop those off. We're gonna have to Google the firing order and figure that out. There we go. And number one, we'll keep that as it is until we get the right one to replace it. These jump. So after a quick Google search, what I could find out about this firing order is clockwise, and our firing order is going to be 1 3 4 2. So 1 3 4 2 in the clockwise direction. So we got our new Duralast plug wires. And this also should have our wires for our coil. Before replacing the plug wires, actually going to pull these spark plugs, see what we're working with. Go ahead and pull these junk 8-up spark plug wires out real quick. Be able to clean these spark plugs out all up when we get them out and see if this thing has any signs of possibly running lean or rich. So there's what we're working with. Left to right, 1 2 3 4. And honestly, not too bad right there. No complaints about that. Since I have them out now, I'm going to go ahead and clean those up with some brake clean, and then we'll turn this thing over, test for spark. Plug it into our plug wire here, just like so. We'll ground that right there. Should be able to see a ping across there. There's a battery. Chuck that down in there. Guy will be positive right here. Get that on. This will be negative. All right, nothing's catching on fire. Battery hooked up. Now let's see if this thing even turns over and check for spark. We got nothing. So yesterday I didn't quite get it figured out, but we're back today and we got something to try here. So yesterday I noticed if I have the accessory on the ignition with the battery, and if I go to hook it up, so right here, let's unplug this so I can show you. If we hit the positive terminal, you can hear that click. And so yesterday I thought that that was the solenoid that's sitting on the top of the starter clicking, but it turns out it is not. And so when I was looking at the solenoid here, which this is on the driver's side of the engine bay, our starter is way down in there, and on top of there it has a solenoid. And so it has a constant hot, which is this wire right here, which goes to your positive on your battery. It also should have on there a smaller wire that's going to your ignition relay. And so what that smaller wire is doing is when you turn your ignition switch, it's gonna make up that contact, and then it's gonna tell that solenoid to turn over your starter, which then in turn will turn over your motor. We do not have that wire. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take a screwdriver. I'm going to go from our big positive on the solenoid and jump across to where the little wire should be. And that will tell us if our solenoid and starter are good or bad. From here, we're gonna go to the big, to the small. That doesn't sound right. Well, that ain't good. That thing just caught on fire. The old Interstate seemed like it didn't have enough juice. We're gonna try the Napa Legend. And also, popping these terminals off here, let's get these things cleaned up. I just don't think I'm getting enough juice out of the old batteries. And those are pretty dirty, so let's do something with those. Just using some 80 grit sandpaper here. This new battery in here. Let's see if the old Napa Legend helps her turn over a bit. All right, looking, see why we have no spark. Looking at this coming from our distributor here, we have, well, that one's not even plugged in. This goes back to our coil, and if you follow that back, as you can see, just like the rest of the wiring on this thing, the mice got to that, which comes into our coil right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run 2 new wires from here, go into our distributor cap real quick, and see if that helps our spark issue. Got our new wires ran just like the old ones, but not frayed off and junk. So now let's see if we got spark. Spark, come on. Well, gee dang it, that was really hard to see in person, but she did spark. I don't know if you guys could even see that in the video. Right, ended up finding that little wire that goes to your ignition, so when you turn the key on, it gives power to that solenoid and turns the motor over. But if we do that here, hop in here, turn the key, you can hear that solenoid. It's just clicking. And sometimes we'll try and turn that over. I'm thinking that starter solenoid is junk. We got a new one coming, and we'll pick that up tomorrow and throw that on. And hopefully that'll allow us to turn this thing over and feed her some fuel and fire her up. So we got her jacked up. This kind of gives you an idea what she's going to look like when she's running, because she's going to have so much power and it's going to pop wheelies just like this. If you got yourself a Mazda 2000, this top bolt on the starter is going to be the hard one. Got several extensions and a wobble on the end there to get to it. Oh, now I fell off. I got camera shy.
There it is. You need to come up with your socket a little bit. Level it out. You're about half on. There you go.
There she is. Had to pull from the top here because the hose to the slave cylinder, this guy, was in the way, so we couldn't drop it out of the bottom. So took it right through where you see sunlight there. So tomorrow when I go pick up that starter, I have every bit of confidence, kinda, that this thing's gonna run. Therefore, I'm gonna go ahead and shop back this thing out because it is disgusting. Get all these mouse turds out, get it smelling a little better in here of a black ice tree, and just get this thing looking a lot better. And then tomorrow, hopefully we can drive this thing. I didn't get this rig clean by any means. Kitty Bob does not approve. He's checking it out, saying I did not do a good job because holy crap, what is that and why does it have oozeball? That is disgusting. But it's clean enough for us to drive now. At least we're not gonna hopefully get a disease. Ever since buying this thing, I have not felt quite right though. Don't know what's going on. Probably all the feces. Well, we picked up a starter. This looks way different than what came on there, but you gotta trust your local parts specialists at your AutoZone because they are parts specialists and they know everything about cars. So let's throw this on. Oh, it is so humid out here. Sweating and I haven't done a thing. Now with this one being smaller, it should be pretty easy to get on. And I just broke off the threads going to the starter for the 12 volt, so that's awesome. Now we're not gonna be able to do this. That's just awesome. Look at that. So like you just saw, I ruined that brand new starter. So it's several weeks later and a couple things have happened. For one, we got a brand new starter starting over here. I'm gonna throw this on, won't bore you by showing you that, but look at that camper shell that I also found while I was waiting for this thing to come to the parts store. All right, everything is hooked up as it should be. Let's see if she turns over and hopefully we can get this thing fired up. Finally. Moment of truth. Pray. Well, she turned over good there. She's in gear. All right, let's see what we can do here. Feed her a little bit of fuel. Oh, that's way too much. We're gonna have a fire. No way, she just fired right up. Holy crap. That was way too easy. I think they literally parked this thing because the starter went bad on this thing. I mean, that was literally the first time I fed her fuel. Started right up. It was very quiet actually. Let's see if we can keep her running. All right, that's enough of that. I'm gonna hook up a temp fuel system and let's see if we can drive this thing. Dad and I already bled the clutch on this thing, but now it has zero fluid. I think it's leaking out of that slave cylinder, so I'm gonna top it off here, see if I can get her to pump back up. We got this wire negative positive to electronic fuel pump here. Hook up our fuel line to right here. That's gonna feed our carburetor. Fire it up and let this thing run for a second. All right, we hooked some stuff up. Let's see if we can get it to just idle by itself. Ain't gonna do it. All right, we weren't able to get this thing to idle, but it shouldn't affect, hopefully, to be able to drive it. Dad helped me bleed the clutch, so that's nice and stiff. Let's try and put this thing around the yard. The tires are very rough. These ones are all right. Got the camper shell bolted down. That looks good. You guys haven't seen that yet. But this tire is not roadworthy. We probably shouldn't hit the highway with that thing quite yet. She's a runner. I don't know if this thing has power steering or not. Doesn't feel like it. Oh, we got a bunch of crap back there. Ah! She's definitely a runner. I can figure out now why she was riding so rough. I think I might have tore that tire up. End up replacing this tire, so now we're good to go to hit the road. All right, let's see if we can go blow a tire. This is a fine ride. It's a bad spot to be pulling out. go. Second gear. Come on, baby. Oh, she rides terrible. Ooh, third. Woo! There's third. I think we found first, huh? She said, whoa! Oh, this is so sketchy. Jeez. Fourth gear. 55 miles per hour. There's cars. Oh my goodness. She is shaking like crazy right now. Holy crap. Hey, she's riding though. Put some tires on it, might be alright. We never figure out the idling thing, so I gotta keep revving it up and keep her running. So that's not ideal. And she doesn't have power steering. That makes it rather difficult as well. She likes slipping in the first instead of third. That's super close to each other. Seems to be a runner though. For a truck that's been sitting since 1993, guys, that's a long time. And we're moving down the road right now. Turn around right here. No power steering, I can't believe that. Woo. Woo. Let's go racing. What do you think we should do with this little truck? I like it. 5-speeds are fun. Oh, found third. 50 down the gravel. Let's go. She's starting to run better. Oh yeah, we got a horn. No radio. We do have headlights, so we could drive at nighttime. We're gonna see if we can do a little burnout up here. Ooh. Coming hot. Chirp them. Second gear. Come on, baby. No 10 gauge, nothing, so I don't like that. We don't want to drive her too far and overheat her. None of that crap's working, actually. See how fast we can get it going. Probably have the seatbelt on. I can't get it to go past 55. Well, I made it back. She's rather hot, I think. Let's see under the hood here. She's smoking a little, but what do you expect for something that's been sitting for this long? Crazy was just cleaning these wheels up did to the truck. It looks so much better. Really liking the look of it. We do need to figure out why this thing won't idle quite right. I did run it really hard, and now she will sit here and sputter. Fires right up, turn the key, starts up. She'll sit here just like that. Thinking we probably need to run some fuel cleaner through that. So on the next video, I'm going to drop the gas tank. Hopefully I can get that thing cleaned out. I think it does have a plastic tank, so it shouldn't be rusted. And then we'll run some fuel treatment through it and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.